Well, 7 o'clock, I'd like to welcome everybody and call this meeting to order if we could. If we could all stand and take the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, the moment of silence for prayer. Give me seat. I guess we can start. Like to get an approval from the prior meeting there. Unfortunately, I was there on May 13th and March 13th.
May hasn't come yet.
No. Second. All in favor? Aye. Kevin, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. That's an aye.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you. All right, we will move on to
Is that loud?
bills. General A Fund 25-103 through 25-137 in the amount of $19,860.15.
Motion.
Have a second? All in favor? Aye. Carried.
Aye.
General B Fund 25-6 in the amount of $46.23.
Make that motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. East Sidney Lake 25-9 through 25-17 in the amount of $7,801.32.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Sydney Center Lighting 25-5 in the amount of $382.42.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right, total general fund vouchers are $28,090.12. Highway DA Fund 25-44 through 25-55 in the amount of $15,374.26.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Great. DB Fund 25-4 through 25-5 in the amount of $8,295.97.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right, total highway fund vouchers are $23,670.23. CM Hospital Fund 25-63 through 25-83 in the amount of $57,468.24.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Paid total vouchers paid are $109,228.59. Moving on to correspondence.
Oh, I don't have any correspondence.
Monthly reports or, let's see here. Here's totaling, submitting checks totaling $1,161 for fees collected during March. Okay, oral reports. Cody.
Alright, so the highway department is currently in the process of taking bids for our stone. Oil and stoning our town roads that we paved last year, as well as our paving projects for this year. I've received a few, waiting on a couple more. If you were at the last meeting, you would have known that we were taking in bids for mowing and diesel and heating supply for the town wide. On April 9th, the highway committee and myself, we did the bid opening, and the results for the mowing is gonna go to DeMun Contracting. And our fuel and everything else is going to be awarded to Maravitos. They came in the cheapest.
So I made this mistake last year, so I don't wanna make it again this year. We need to know the bids that everyone submitted.
Okay, I have,
There was fractions of a cent difference that was very close between a couple of the
we have
parties.
to post them somewhere, or?
No, just read them aloud if you will.
Let's start with the mowing.
Yeah, so we had two mowing bids. The one contracting came in at $2,835.
That's for all the plots that we have.
Including the park. And that runs until November.
Sorry. I didn't know it was, the old time, or war time.
The other one was John Heiser, and that came in at $4,800 even. The mowing. And then the three that submitted bids for the fuel were Marabito, Fuel, and Blue Ox. You wanna go through these one by one?
Unfortunately.
Alright, Frank. What do you
Do we have to do them all or just the ones that the winning the most bid?
We got into this issue last year where. Okay, we really should read them.
No problem. Should we do the good news is it's substantially less for the hospital, which is the biggie, so it's a huge savings over last year.
And, the reasons you have to do.
On-road ultra-low sulfur diesel summer fuel was $2.58. On-road ultra-low sulfur diesel winter was $2.67. Kerosene was $3.09. Regular gas, they did not give a price for. Fuel oil for the hospital, $2.51. Fuel oil for the hospital clinic was $2.51. Heating fuel oil, for highway garage is $2.51. And heating fuel oil for this building, the same, $2.51. Diesel fuel for the hospital was $2.58. Propane for this building was $1.64. That's from Buell Fuel.
Alright, this one is gonna be from Blue Ox. For the summer diesel, it's $2.59 a gallon. For the winter diesel, it's $2.62 a gallon. For K1 kerosene, it's $3.19 a gallon. No bid on gas. For the heating fuel for the hospital is $2.57 a gallon. For the hospital clinic, it's $2.57 a gallon. For the highway garage, it's $2.57 a gallon. For 44 Grand Street, it's $2.57 a gallon. Diesel fuel for the hospital is $2.59, and then for propane, there's no bid for Blue Ox. The winning bid is gonna be from Rapido for the diesel, summer blend, $2.55 a gallon. The winter diesel, $2.58 a gallon. K1 kerosene, $3.20 a gallon. No bid on the gas. The heating fuel oil for the hospital, it's gonna be $2.45 a gallon. The heating fuel oil for the hospital clinic is $2.45 a gallon. For the 44 grand, $2.55 a gallon. Highway garage, $2.55 a gallon. Diesel fuel for the hospital, $2.55 a gallon, and then propane, they bid at $1.89.
So they were the lowest bid on all of them.
Yes.
What was?
We're talking over 65,000 gallons of
Company in
fuel.
Syracuse was like literally tenths of a cent higher, so.
So then you have to discuss whether you're comfortable with the fixed or you wanna do the fluctuating bid. Play the market or take what you got.
I mean, I know today it was down, but it's anybody's guess. The best we ever did, I mean, I personally think we probably should. I guess with volatility right now, I guess we just go with fixed and play it safe. It's substantial savings over last year and 35 gallons, or 35,000 gallons, it's. What were we last year? Do you remember, Cody?
Yeah, hang on a second. So last year for diesel, we were 323 a gallon, but summer one. For winter diesel, it was 326 a gallon. Kerosene was 388 a gallon, no bid on the gas. The heating fuel oil was 318 carried through. So. And propane was 239.
Substantial savings.
About 26,000 just on the hospital alone. So how do you guys feel about that? You wanna go with the fixed or variable? I think most years we went fixed. I mean, just it's, you know, it's.
Now, remember, this goes until April of next year, so.
So you talk and then contact them tomorrow and let them.
Yeah, I will send out letters and on email.
You wanna move to accept Maravitos fixed bid?
I'll move.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, Kevin?
Aye.
Okay,
And on the mowing?
Yeah, I'm good with the fixed.
okay, great.
On the mowing, you're gonna make the award to the month contracting? You're gonna make that motion?
No motion. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Only two bidders.
Aye.
Great.
Alright, so now that we got those motions, the last. I need approval to place an ad in the paper for the town of Sidney drop-off days. It's gonna be scheduled for the first week of May. Acceptable items are passenger car and passenger truck tires only. And we're taking scrap metal and then appliances if people need a place to get rid of them.
The first week in May, the whole week?
Yep,
The first full week, like the fifth
that's
through the ninth, okay.
Take old hot tubs?
right to your house. And I'd
It's not called pickup day, it's like drop off day.
I'd like to ask Sheila to place the ad in the paper as soon as she could and run it for 2 weeks, please. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Motion to do that. You on that,
Second.
favor? Aye. Carry. Do we need to, they were gonna have a brief executive session here, one to, discuss possibly a purchase of a used box for one of the trucks that's in dire needs that's, coming up. And then, we've got, a contract, we've got to discuss as well. Let's see, I'm moving on, I don't have everything right now, appreciate everybody covering for me last month.
Well, everything is the last month of, taxes, was up, end of April last month. Just to let you know that, my office is gonna be closed Good Friday and Easter Monday, which who knows, and then I will be away, at the end of April. I am, as you know, I'm a district for the New York State Town Clerks Association. So I will be in training at the end of April, but Julie will be here covering for me. And, I will be on my laptop and on my cell phone if I need to somebody needs to get in touch with me. So I will be out of the office on April 28th through the 30th. I'll be back on May 1st. But I will always be available by email or by phone call or text while I'm away when it's possible and I'm not in class. And I'll bring back all kinds of information. It's a huge conference. It's the biggest conference of the year of the New York State Town Clerks Association that we do. So, but, like I said, Julie will be in the office as well during the time that I'm away. So basically, that's all I have.
Reports. Right?
We started the first round of contract negotiations with the highway workers. And, the contract goes until, end of December. So we just got the first round of demands and we're gonna look at that. As far as that goes, I think everything else is, winter's almost over here and we're not doing any more standing and hopefully save some money on, overtime. That's all I have.
Great. All right, hospital. Nate, I guess you can maybe give everybody where I know we're putting in a new fire system here, alarm system within the next few weeks, right?
28th is Thursday. That'll take about a week.
Okay,
Mental health, you can tell them about that.
yeah, we get a new tenant that's, they haven't signed the lease yet, but it's been drafted and, sounds like everything's moving forward. They're gonna be, taking, 2 rooms in the second floor in the old skilled nursing wing, so be good addition there, so certainly all helps.
I've done with Cody, we got them marked out and everything, we're gonna put 2 more parking spots in up there because of that, to help with a couple areas. But we're going every different direction, trying to satisfy Fox and stuff, so.
I've been busy. But Nate he and his brother did a fantastic job, getting the rooms ready and so forth there too. They really came out nice.
I talked to the seniors, I am gonna move them up the hall. They're all for us. They're away from everything, and that gives you another room to show them.
Yeah, and keep it all in one area that they get.
Oh, the EV chargers. They're starting on the ones down here Monday and the 21st up the hospital, they're starting that.
Great. I thought they were gonna start last week though, weren't they, or would they do? it
Well, he
before
came
Sunday?
and marked it out so he could call UDIG and put into UDIG so they can mark it, so.
Gotcha.
The 14th and the 21st are going between the 2 of them. 4 here and 4 there, that's what
At the hospital and, here as well, and the cost was like very, we get more or less, it wasn't a grant, but it was a NYSERDA.
Yeah, you gotta do 4, you can't do 2.
Right.
Was
Correct.
that the NICEAG charge, the material and
Yeah, I think it
labor?
was $2,800 I think total,
Yeah.
so it was really inexpensive and, we gotta put in some sort of a credit card processing and open up a new account. In fact, we probably should, make a motion to open up, a new account just specifically for that. I don't know if we wanna put them all in one, both the hospital and.
I think it's a good idea. Is that a new account or is
Yeah,
that
just
just
a-
a line item?
Now, we'll actually open a separate account.
So it's not mixed in with everything.
Correct, it'll be nice and clean that way, and,
Um,
unless we do 2, we could actually do 1 for the hospital in there, and then we got it, the county, it probably makes more sense, so. It's not gonna cost us anything to speak of, so. They're pretty good. We'll do 2, I think.
Yeah.
I've talked to Paul, I gotta run some wiring through the hospital and down here for the Wi-Fi to talk to our Wi-Fi, so I've got that to do too. Which we gotta purchase a couple parts for it. Cause it's gotta reach across the parking lot here and out the front parking lot up there. And a couple cameras.
We need to involve a motion.
Yeah, we did make a motion for the account, you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll second.
Who did the first, who made the first
We
one?
made the motion.
Second, all you
I'll
guys are
second.
all in favor of that?
Aye. Yeah, definitely, I think keep it separate. It's perfect.
Aye.
Clean.
Yep.
Okay. And it's actually a company out of Afton, so they're local too, if we have any issues with
Oh, there.
maintenance and so forth, so. But, I think they did the install for Scolovino in town as well, so.
They did our LED lighting here at the hospital.
Yeah, they just $3 lights there, which is,
So the chargers, or should we wait for the new business? Or-
no, go right ahead, that's fine.
With EV chargers, is this gonna be public or is this just for, really?
They open to the public, yeah. It's, especially at the hospital, we had quite a few people actually plugging in, and it's it's cleaner this way, and, it's, it's the right thing to do, putting in the, their work, at a reasonable cost and so forth, but it's long overdue, so. But, I'm glad it's, coming together there, and then,
We've been talking about it a couple of years.
yeah, so it's all good.
And then, here at the town office.
It's gonna be one right over here across from DMV, kind of heading towards NBT, and the other is gonna be up in the parking lot up, to the right side of the building, up at the hospital.
And you'll pay to use it, or it's just?
Yeah, they'll pay to use it, yeah. But at some point, we're gonna have to discuss what to charge and so forth, and I know if it's I think the type 2 chargers, they're not the super fast ones, but we'll keep it competitively priced and so forth, but.
When do they start doing
Next week, yeah, so it'll be good. It's, definitely, I had a lot of people were asking for it, so.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to insurance. Kevin,
I don't have anything. Do you have anything, Kevin?
No, me neither. No, I'm trying to see if they can do AED stuff for us so we can get off that plan whenever that happens. But they just do the trainings. They don't actually offer the service, unfortunately.
wasn't there just recently a reduction though, and something went down, some of the insurance costs there for me when they originally estimated, but.
This was something on that.
I don't know,
Yeah, there was.
I didn't,
It wasn't,
but
but
it didn't stick in my head what it was, but I saw something. So, yeah.
zoning and planning.
Working on a comprehensive plan,
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the meeting next Monday.
and,
So, matter of fact, I'm gonna be at every meeting now, cause you made some, I changed my schedule.
21st, 6 o'clock. Comprehensive plan starts an hour before the actual planning board meeting starts. And, I'd like to see, really like to see a good turnout of the public. So, to help with that, make everybody happy, do the right thing, common sense rules, thank you.
Anyway,
We got a bunch of the electric panels upgraded about 3 weeks ago now. Larger overhead coming out of the well house to feed some of the campground areas that were undersized wire. So that's up and running. We have Union Worker Day on Saturday. Weather doesn't look real great.
this Saturday.
This Saturday, rain and snow and 40, but we'll be there trudging through it, I guess. We had probably 35 to 40 dead trees cut down in the last 2 weeks. So I've got trees laying all over the place, so we'll be cleaning that myself in the next couple of weeks. And just preparing for opening weekend on May 2nd, I think it is that Friday, so. We're under motion.
And does it look like, as far as the number of permanent seasonal?
Yep, it'll be full. Yep. I'm filling the last couple sites, probably Saturday. I've got people coming over to look at the last couple that are open, so. It'll be full.
Great.
On another note, recently, like, John and I was talking that, they had a couple requests for maybe veterans with proper ID to get in for free. A car, it's a car, comes in with the veteran driving the car with proper ID, give them free admission. And I'd like to get the feel of the board for that.
Absolutely. Not at all.
We're making a motion. Which motion?
1 second.
All in favor?
Right.
Very good. Kevin, okay.
Proper ID?
Yep.
Proper ID is the key here, though.
Beautiful. All right, finance. Everything is,
You weren't here last month, but we approved the bill for $2,000 for NICEAG. Do I fight this? I already started the process with them, but you have a $2,000, collectively $2,000 bill for the dam for electric from November to, but do you want me to fight this? Because it's ridiculous. I mean,
Didn't we pull?
you have
all
a
the meters?
$500 demand charge for like no kilowatts. It's
So basically that $2,000 is that we had one. And then this month when Karen and I talked and we pulled up the bills, we had a credit on one of the accounts that were over $2,000. So I had called NICEAG. And because as you realize in the bills this month, we didn't have any because we took the credit. And we took the credit and we placed it to cover all of the bills that were outstanding from the smaller ones. So now we still have a credit of about $1,700. Not getting the credit back would make it easier to just leave it there because the lake is the park's gonna open up and we're gonna use that up quickly. So basically the $2,000 that we had, that we paid became a credit, and it's because of the NICEAG is very difficult to understand when you talk to them, but the bills became, and we prepay a lot of them sometimes because we've had so many problems of paying late in the prior time. So,
Just because of when they hit you.
yeah, and it's, when we pay our bills and when they send out the bills and when they read the meters, it becomes a real chaotic mess to a point with NICEAG. So because we had that many problems, as you can remember, I had asked the board at one time with Karen Pin, because we go online all the time to get our bills, that we were prepaying them because we were always kind of behind at certain times. And then we were getting like the notices of, oh, we're gonna turn off your power.
Yeah.
So we decided, and I had asked prior to prepay them, which Karen does. And what happened is that then what happens is all of a sudden they read meters and we've already paid them, but we've already paid. So it's kind of like a domino effect to a point, or it gets, so we had like a $2,300 credit. And I took all of that money for the other bills that were due on the smaller ones that were this month's bill because the electric is still on.
Right.
So they just are going to transfer that money, but we still have a credit of like $1,700. So that's gonna wash. So by the time that lake opens, the park opens, I mean, we should probably be on more of a, like a level base on a zero balance type of thing.
Right, but I still understand where the usage came from November to February.
Do we know which account
How did
this
this
money's coming out of?
Yeah, it's all the lakes, it's all the parks, it's all the parks.
Yeah,
I
That's
have
right. So they already gave us the credit.
they all gave us the credit. So what happened is like, because of the park being closed,
Was it an
it
estimate?
become an estimate, because of the park is closed, and sometimes, as John knows, and I know that they don't go in, they don't read, they just estimate it all the time, and
Do we
then what happens
pull the
is that we don't pull the meters because it costs us way too much
You
money.
used to shut it off, and then they charge you to go out and shut it off.
Mhm.
And then when you call them to turn it back on, they charge you a huge amount to come back
Right.
on, turn them all back on.
Right.
And now with the cameras and all that stuff in there, we
Oh,
just
you
left it
mean-
on so that there's surveillance of where the buildings all.
So there is some
There's
slight
some
usage,
drama, but,
Yeah.
I mean,
but,
not a lot.
Like a switch
Not-
and a camera.
yeah,
But
well,
I mean, the whole park was re-energized in when was that, Bill? March?
That was from
That was
November to January.
Everything was, cause we've been doing all the
But
electric.
that was
work
just,
through the winter,
what
so.
I think is what she's saying is that was just an estimate and then it turned out it wasn't. So then we got a credit balance, but
Here's the
then.
problem I have with NICEAG. Look, I have a problem with them right now. I'm actually past the Public Service Commission going to court with them. Because we basically burned wood all year. And my meter was broken since October. I've been complaining about this broken meter since October. They actually estimated my bills from last year and I have to prove I burnt wood. So I have a $1,800 bills every month because I have reading floor heat that runs on an electric boiler. And I'm fighting this. So when past NICEAG, when past the Public Service Commission, now it's going to court. Because I'm not paying the bill. I mean, it's paid, because I want my electric bill, but I want the credit back.
Gotcha.
I don't know what's going on there, but something's great. When did you get the credit?
I pulled it when I pulled the bills for this month, and then Karen and I discussed it, and we decided that I would take
No,
the,
when was the credit posted to the account?
it was, right off the top of my head, Paul, I can't really tell you, I have the bill, it was this month when I was doing the bills this month, and I pulled the bills off the line, like we do every month, and I do the vouchers, and we had that credit, and I said, why are we keeping this? And we discussed it, and I decided that it would be better just to pay them with the credit, because last time like the first time this happened, a couple years ago, quite a few years ago, I asked for the money back, I think, remember that? And by the time I got it back, the park was open and it was kind of like,
So what was that credit for?
it was a credit of a payment over time because of the way they read the meters. That, and
So
they're,
it's no overpayment because it was based on their estimate.
because they do the estimate during the winter time, because a lot of times they don't go and read the meters. Because they say they don't go in, they have an excuse, or they have snow or whatever, I don't know.
They have a nice, I guess, a key to it.
And they have a key, they know, I know that.
They estimated it from last year.
You talking about the same thing?
I will make sure everybody gets a
We
copy
had,
of the
we had a
bills.
new meter installed
It's
in like November, and we have not seen any bill from them
I haven't
since
seen one
December.
either, yeah.
So,
I did put a smart meter in for me, I think it was February 19th.
And
we have-
smart
My
meters
bill
have been,
went from
and the
here
smart meters are the
to
problems.
here.
yeah,
Smart meters are the huge problems, I know that, because the people that I know that work for Nightside, the smart meters are the problem of why people's prices are so high.
Yeah.
Because they don't read correctly, but do we have the smart meters at the park? I don't think, so.
They're only smart for night side then.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Wow.
right.
But I'm saying we don't have the smart meters to do.
Nah, it doesn't, I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't think they're.
I just got a phone call from Century Alarm.
Me too.
We don't have internet here.
I'm on the internet right now.
It can't be, it's working down there.
Okay.
I don't have internet on my end of the building.
Century Alarm is
Service area.
Did you call, we have to call Ryan.
Well, I talked to you as the IT person, so then I did leave a message with Ryan tonight, because it was out when I came back
Say it's
from
not
Denver.
communicating, they just left a message on the phone.
I had it all day until I came back this evening, after dinner.
it just went out.
It went, yeah, and I have a message in for Ryan for tomorrow morning, because.
How do we have it on this? We have two different services or?
There's a line going, it's probably the switch, I'll go take a look at it later on what.
They told me to put a quad to
Right.
it.
So I will get that. The bill is actually I have it in my office, so I'll make copies before I leave.
So moving on to IT, and I just want to thank Paul for making this all happen there. We talked
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it for quite a few years and,
It's got a long way to go.
yeah, but it works better in the county. They're a lot more efficient.
All right, for the hospital, the cameras, we're gonna do 180s for the back area.
I want cameras for where our new tenants are going in.
Okay.
So I've been really working with.
Yeah,
Paul on
so
that.
we'll do a 180 camera that's handling that little area in the back where you wanna watch the doors. So they'll get the hallway, the doors, in a little alcove. And in the entrance way, we'll just do a bullet.
And you're gonna get me set-
259.
you're gonna get me set up in the shop so I can watch.
Yeah, it's 259 each, but you're gonna have to upgrade your PoE switch, because I don't think it's enough watts.
So that's the kind of stuff I gotta get up there, just letting you know.
Yeah, also, as far as the EV stations, the wireless access points that we're gonna put outside, they're $99 each, very, very cheap, it goes about 600 feet. Perfect radius.
And some wire and.
It's PoE, that's one of the reasons why we have to upgrade that switch, and I gotta talk to Ryan on this end to make sure there's enough watts on those PoE switches to handle the watts for that access point. You're gonna handle the cable?
Yeah, I got it.
Do you wanna do AI cameras in the vestibules? Don't you tell me when, every time the alarm goes off, you get a phone call and you,
It makes life a lot easier, cause it's save a lot of time for people having to come in, so. Yeah, absolutely.
you wanna do it? I'll get a
Yeah.
quote for it.
Yeah, if we could, that'd be great. They're not.
We're gonna put cameras in the courts lobby, the town hall's lobby, D&B lobby, and the historical side entrance. So when they get haunted by the alarm company, depending on the zone it's in, we'll send a picture of the last person that was in that area, so we know exactly who's coming in the building. If there's nobody there, cancel the alarm. Yeah. So
We
they're
got
getting
a
stuff
dozen
done.
calls from those folks, I always call the village police,
Yeah. What?
I always call the village police.
What do you mean you can see who was there?
Because we're gonna put AI cameras in. You guys Tyco or ADT here?
That's Century Alarm.
Yeah, but
But wait a minute, what do you mean you want a camera to see who was the last one at the thing?
We're trying to see who's actually in the building, so when they call, you can actually pull it up on your phone and confirm that there's nobody in there, I guess.
Because somebody punches in the code, you know who was here. Everybody's got
No,
their
if the
code.
building's being vandalized, when alarm goes off, usually it's a break-in.
That means nobody's punched in a code.
We
If somebody opens the
get into
door,
the system we got.
the system that he has does nothing for him, because it's not really online. Unless
It
you
is
have,
online.
you have an app for that camera system back there?
Yes, right, there's an app for that, yes.
So send me off to the app, so I can put it on his phone, so you can see who's coming in the building, and save some money that way.
Or if you wanna do a different one just for the doors, that's.
Well, we probably all need it, cause we're all on the left, so.
Like, I just got
I
one.
just call the police, all I do.
Yeah, but you don't
Frank
do
can't get them on his, flip phone.
That's true. That's true.
When they
I just come drive down here to see what's going on, and then I got.
So when that phone call's coming, it's been the same door, and I've had them here for it. It's always been the same door. They changed the sensor on it, and I think it's when we get a blurb in the, internet. Seems to happen when we had a storm or something, when
Yeah,
I
it
get
seems
that.
to be.
Just like, right now, I just got a call for that down there. The internet's out, I'll tell them disregard, but that's not the way to do it, but we're down right now.
The internet's not out because I'm online, I gotta go check the switch back there, they just did some work. Who
Well,
knows what they
switch,
did.
internet, whichever, it's not working down there.
Next question,
I've got some IT stuff.
what?
We got a phone call from New York State Cybersecurity Office that they're offering the two largest townships in each county, free service for
Okay,
that, and so I watched the webinar and, I copied you on it, and it seems like a no-brainer, to me, and just gotta enroll in it, and then they'll take care of
what
it.
is their purpose?
I'm not the IT guy.
No, it's just, you're telling me to do something, you watched the webinar, what did you learn from the webinar?
I learned where to push the enroll. I learned to call Paul. Anyway, we should look at that. It's free,
Oh, wow.
so.
That's all I have.
Alright. Moving on to dog control. Kevin, any excitement this month?
Not really, a couple calls. She did say, Sheila, that she didn't get anything for January yet. I don't know if she reached out to you too.
She did.
For
because
Miles?
I didn't get her email until this month,
Oh.
but it's already in the vouchers, yes.
Okay,
Yep,
okay, that,
she did reach out and I said, I didn't get your email, and she goes, oh, I guess it didn't go, so we're all good.
okay. Yeah, that was it, just a couple calls, nothing crazy.
Hey, moving on. Justice.
The annual audit for the court system was completed on March 25th. It's a New York State mandated audit. Judge does a real good job keeping track of stuff and paper trails, and it was fine. But what I wanted to report on was we made $1,200 on the traffic diversion program. Traffic diversion, I guess, is for people who get tickets and they take this course and it reduces their points and they pay a fine for the course or whatever, but the money goes to the town itself, not to the court. The fee. Okay. So it's a revenue.
It's new to this within the last few months. Is it run pretty smooth? Craig?
Yes, done pick up.
Any glitches or problems?
Just got the first 2 months ordered. I had to request, they didn't send it. They said it said get sent to the town. But no, I don't think it does because they're still.
Now, do you set up the profiles as far as what cases can be settled online versus?
Yeah, well, we can add or take cases away. Right now, we're going with the county plan. Passing a school bus isn't allowed. Anything with, improper paperwork isn't allowed. It's more or less for speed. Vehicle traffic projects, they have good ideas.
Is it saving any time at this day or too soon to
No,
tell?
we touch every summons each way. we send it out, we still gotta intake it, send it out. Get sent back, get sent to the DA sends it back to us. So hasn't really saved much time yet, as of, the DA's still working out too, they're overwhelmed right now.
How are you finding it on the county level?
Oh, I've been preaching for it for 10 years. You know, our adjoining counties have been doing it and have all said what a great revenue producer it is.
Great, well, you will move on to, new business grievance day for the town. We gotta have to make a resolution, like it's, a local law. You wanna read it?
No. Nope. Joe can read it or you can read it. I typed it. You don't have your glasses, do you? Joe's really good at it.
Yeah, there you go.
Resolution and then.
Okay. We have a resolution of the town board, town of Sidney. Resolution authorized and adoption by the town board of the town of Sidney of local law number 1-2025. Grievance day of the town of Sidney. Dated April 10th, 2025. Whereas an introductory local law entitled Grievance Day of the town of Sidney was introduced before the town board, the town of Sidney on blank today's date, 2025. And upon the
One notice duty, it's exactly how.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And upon notice duly published and posted, the hearing was held on May blank, it'll be our next town board meeting, 2025 at 7 PM before the town board. Whereas public discussion was heard at such hearing concerning the merits and environmental significance of said introductory local law. And be it resolved that the town board of the town of Sidney hereby adopts said local law entitled Grievance Day of the town of Sidney. Hereby is determined to be a type 2 seeker action, and it be further resolved that the town board of the town of Sidney hereby adopts said local law 1/2025. Grievance Day of the town of Sidney, a copy of which is attached here too and made a part of this resolution. And it be further resolved that the town clerk be and hereby is directed to enter said local law in the minutes of this meeting in the local law book of the town of Sidney, and to give due notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State of New York and to the New York State Tax Department Office of Counsel, W.A. Harriman Campus, Albany, New York, 1227-0911. So this will be read again at our May town board meeting, but for tonight's purposes, we need a motion to go forward and publish the public hearing that will be held at the May board meeting, so we can adopt the local law. We're supposed to set grievance day, so it's a little tough to follow here, but this is the way it's gotta be, so we don't get locked into one day for the rest of eternity. The town of Sidney shall hold grievance day on the first Thursday following the fourth Tuesday in May, commencing in 2025 and each year thereafter. So this year would be June 5th, I think.
Yes,
No.
this year it is June, so this year it is June, it's gonna be June 5th.
First,
Just this year.
It may have to be June 5th next year.
First Thursday, following the fourth Tuesday in May, right?
Yeah.
Well, the fourth Tuesday in May is the 27th. So the first Thursday after the 27th is the 29th.
Retain length.
I just am doing, we're just doing it as what was written down by the assessors, that they wanna do it in June this year.
You wanna confirm with Penny that this is language she gave us?
That's the language that I got,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we just confirm with her that she wants to keep it
Okay,
before you publish.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, do I have a motion?
I'll motion that we do that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Okay, okay, I gotta do this differently. Days. Everybody is?
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah, I
Kevin?
just don't understand. What's the conclusion on the language there? Because the dates don't add up, so I'm not sure what you just said about it.
They don't.
She's gonna verify that before it's published,
Yeah,
so that they do match up.
So it'll be in the paper as well, the correct date.
wait, everything will be.
We'll post it on the website as well, I'm assuming.
Her target date is June fifth this year.
Which would be the second Thursday after the last Tuesday. Do you want to just change it to that, or what are we gonna do?
No, I wanna confirm with Penny that she can make it that day, and then we'll change the language in the,
Okay,
resolution when I read it again at our next board meeting.
Which is May 8th.
Correct.
What exactly is grievance day?
It's for people who come in and grieve their taxes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Generally, that's their new high.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody complain they're too.
No, I don't think so.
So Kevin, are you saying yay or are you not, are you abstaining? The reason why I'm asking is.
yeah,
because
that's
I
fine. Yeah, I'm saying yay.
Okay,
You can put yay for me.
yay. Okay, so I will check with Penny. She's here tomorrow, Joe, so I'll
Okay.
ask her tomorrow about the wording. How that works. Okay.
Can you just send us all an email so we know before the meeting?
I'm gonna
Whatever
correct
she
it
said.
all and everybody will get copies of it. Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our
Our next meeting is May 5th, so we will have it,
May
May 8th, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we'll have a public hearing that night. It will be published. I'm just going to check with Penny and making sure the wording correctly before I put it in the paper.
Okay.
So we're all on the same page.
Yeah, her other letter does say she.
It does say
posts
that.
June 5th,
But,
But it doesn't.
but it doesn't add up to my, that's what I got.
That's what you got.
What I got. Yeah, change things that I don't.
All right.
All right, is there any other unfinished business?
Anything.
She had names and names served as people to hear grievances. I don't know when you wanna deal with that. I didn't know any of the people on the list. You wanna do it again? Okay, yeah, I guess we should do that.
And we discuss that, once at the next meeting. Great. Any comments, questions, or anything we can try to help you with? Before we go into that, executive session, we're not gonna be voting on anything when we come out of executive session, so you're welcome to stay, but we won't be voting on anything, if that helps, so. But, yes, sir.
Yeah, my name's Bob Pomeroy, I live in the Civic Center,
Okay.
and I've got three things that I wanna bring up to the board. I know that they're gonna be replacing the bridge on Baker Street, the county is. The word is that they're gonna be putting in a temporary bridge. And I was wondering just exactly how much more it might cost, or if somebody would, look into it to see about, because on Center Street, they were gonna put in a temporary bridge. It's gotta be able to handle, fire trucks, fuel trucks, and, you know, anything that. And I was wondering about maybe, even if it was just a single lane bridge, about making it permanent. And my theory behind that is because as dry as it's been and with all the brush fires around the area, those houses are fairly close down there on Baker Street. And I would like to have, you know, have it looked at so that if, God forbid, if we ever did have a fire in that area, they would have two access.
Good idea.
You know, I mean, that's the one thing that I was wondering about bringing up. The second one is that, just about everybody in Sidney Center that's, that I've talked to, or we go to, you know, you chew the fat with somebody or whatever. Nobody, it seems like, is able to get cell service inside of Sidney Center. That you can't even get it at the post office, they can't even get cell service. And I was wondering if there, you know, there's been a lot of talk about having, new towers put in. If there was a way that one could be put up on either Hodge Hill on your brother's property up there, or over on Skytop Lane or something like that. Because that way they're up high enough so that it would give some cell service, if not more, quite a little bit, to the Masonville area even. I mean, you can go from, I'm gonna say Bennettsville, and you can go all the way to Marysville, and you're lucky if you can find cell service. I mean, it's, you get it, you turn around, you turn 90 degrees and you've lost it.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what Masonville did, but they have full service now.
Do they?
That must have happened pretty recently.
I know the county actually owns towers and they in turn lease them to a lot of the cell phone companies, so I'd have to do some digging, but I will see what I can find out.
Pine Hill.
The third thing is that, and it come to my attention yesterday, Dawn Seward. And she admitted, she says, I was driving right along. But I think that the county and the town should be looking at possibly getting signs up for because there's what, 6 or 7 Amish families already in the area, and there's more property being looked at. And I think that, you know, people ought to be aware that there is, because Dawn was coming down to the intersection of 23 and 27. And she says, and I wasn't thinking, you know, I was just listening to the music. And the Amish fellow right there, Daniel, Mast, that bought Miller Finch's place, was coming across the road with a wagon to go get water. And she says, and she says there's been different people that's come in.
A great suggestion, all three of what you did. Cody can
The
bring.
county is actually looking into that, and as soon as they come up with the regulations, we will be following.
Good. I mean, I just don't want anybody to be getting hurt, you know? No, I mean, these people are, they're willing to come in our community and revitalize it in their way. And you know, I wish them all the power in the Lord to be able to take and do that, you know? I mean, they keep things so upbeat and everything. I mean, and that's something we don't see very often. We haven't in the last 20 years.
Amen.
Yeah, I was.
They put up
Is there
one
one going on for something? I was quite caught off guard Monday morning, when I was buggy coming down to the center. Okay. It was a new one, I actually almost texted you, I'm like, I just met an Amish buggy right firehouse.
Thank you for all your questions there, and I will get you answered. Do you have
This young lady behind me even mentioned, she said, would that give better access to the park, the walking park there in Sidney Center? And it would. I mean, it would be much easier because people wouldn't have to, you know, go around the John Robin's barn to get into it.
Who's in church different, is it?
Yeah, with that part, down on the bottom end of it, that's all washed out down in there, and it's going out into the playground or whatever. I've noticed, and you know, I'm just bringing up little things.
Oh, great, no, I appreciate that. In fact, if you give me your phone number, I'll reach back to
Yeah,
you.
607-369-7597.
Okay,
That's my home phone.
great.
I give you my cell phone.
But it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I'm gonna call you next time. Okay, great. No, I'll definitely reach out to you. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Can I just say something about that?
Sure.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the bridge, so, I have looked into that, in some details. As far as I have reached out to the county about that, they do reuse their temporary bridges, so it's not something that they could just leave there. I have looked into a pedestrian bridge, and, initial estimates are around 250K just for like a 40-foot long, 5-foot wide pedestrian bridge. So I have reached out to the county IDA also about that. There actually is a lot of funding for that kind of a project, and we could get the town's costs down pretty significantly. So I am looking into that with the county. As far as like an actual drivable bridge, I mean, if the pedestrian bridge is 250,000, I'm sure a drivable bridge would be much more than that, but I am looking into it, so I'll let you know what I hear.
Very much.
Great. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
John, if you're cutting 40 trees, is that gonna mean that there's gonna be excess wood to be cut over there for the campers?
They want it, it's all laying in the woods right now. There's trees.
I mean, is there a way you can like put it in a central area or something and?
Probably can.
You know about chainsaw insurance? You get hurt.
$100 increases for it, right?
Chainsaw insurance?
Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Great, we are gonna have a brief executive session. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, we gotta invite Cody to this first part of the executive session.
That 2000.
Okay, I make a motion, we come out of executive
I
session.
got-
Because if we use funds, if we pay for it out of the dam.
It is it's their bill.
Oh, it is? Oh, I thought you said, oh,
No.
I thought you said you use it
This-
for.
No,
Oh.
these are just all of the, no, that's what Cody asked me.
Oh, okay.
These are all of the,
I thought you, okay.
no, I would never do that. No. This is just the lakes. This is the.
Okay, so it's on there. Okay,
It's
that's
up,
good.
so it's just kind of coming through. So we haven't, we're waiting for Ray to come in and adjourn.
Motion to come out of executive session.
I second.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right.
Everybody aye? Aye, okay.